Are you an empath? Are you or have you been in a relationship with a narcissist? Are you obsessed with narcissist videos and narcissist content? If so, you're going to want to watch this video because I'm going to show you the only thing you need to know about narcissism and what you can do to get rid of it once and for all in your life. My name is Adam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm a divine freedom and clarity coach. Before we get started for today, I just want to let you know I'm doing free breakthrough calls. There is a link pinned in the comment section below. These are awesome 30-minute calls where we go over your vision for your life, what's been blocking you, so you get some insight and some clarity into what it is, and then steps you can take to finally release it and move forward into the life that you want. Now let's get started. I watch YouTube. I see a lot of content out there. There's so much content on narcissism, and it really honestly drives me nuts. It's a trigger for me, and I'm gonna get a bit into why. Now, one of the things that triggers me in this world in general is there are so many people that just kind of prey upon other people, sometimes in a very extreme way, sometimes in subtle ways. They just kind of use whatever's working out there to like draw people in to get them to see their stuff. There's a lot of inauthenticity. There's a lot of lack of integrity. There's a lot of people that have integrity too, but I sense this a lot with all the narcissist content, and it drives me nuts. And I find that people spend way too much time obsessing on this topic. There's really only one or two things you need to know, and I'm going to share them with you in this video. So, in order to sum up, one of the main core reasons why empaths are completely obsessed with this whole narcissist topic, I have to recite a quote. And it's not from the greatest person in the history of the world, but that is exactly the point. It's a quote that I memorized. And before we get into the actual quote, I'm Jewish, so relax. Okay, the quote is this, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's something to the extent of, within every lie contains a certain factor of credibility. For the masses will fall prey to a great lie rather than a small one, since they also lie themselves sometimes in little things, but would indeed be too ashamed to tell such an impudent lie. Therefore, they will doubt and hesitate. Even after learning the truth, they will continue to believe that there must be some other explanation, a fact which all great liars in lying societies know only too well and therefore villainously employ. That's Hitler, and it's from Mein Kampf. And I got really interested in this sort of concept when I started researching governments and the way our world operates, etc. Basically, what he's saying is that most people are good people. Most people aren't evil. Most people, though we all have the capacity to go to darker places than I think we realize, don't really have it to be truly evil and psychopathic and insane. But others in this world do. And for those of us who don't, we don't understand that. And so what happens is we can get stuck in this sort of morbid curiosity place where we're like, is this person really this abusive? Is this person really this fucking crazy and self-centered and mean? The answer is yes. That's all you need to know. Yes, those people exist. I fell into this too because I was in a relationship with a narcissist. I was in a relationship with a narcissist, not so much a romantic relationship, but a business relationship. I had a boss who was incredibly narcissistic, but he also had a lot of charisma, and he also had a lot of parts that made it seem like he cared. And there were little parts of him that did actually care. One of the redeeming factors about this guy was that he really did love his daughter. Okay, but I had a really hard time accepting that he was as self-centered and as cold and as calculating as he was. And it took me like repetitive experiences with seeing this before I could actually fully believe it. Can you relate to this? I think this is what I'm saying. One of the big issues with empaths is they don't get it. And I'm going to tell a quick story. So I was working for him for a little while before I really started to see that this guy was actually nuts and really cold and mean and didn't really care about other people's feelings very much. But he seemed to like his daughter, and he did care about his daughter. And I remember he went on a vacation for 2 weeks to where he was from. And I was watching on Facebook all of the posts that he made. He made all these posts, like, with different relatives, like smiling with his daughter. And then he'd write, like, my daughter had such a wonderful time. Thank you so much for having us. We loved the dinner, we whatever. And then he'd be like, here is me and my daughter, at this site with my cousins. And thank you so much for the amazing time. We really love you. And I remember watching this and going, oh, okay. This guy does have a heart. He does actually care about people. He isn't as crazy as I thought. But then what happened was, when he got back from the vacation, I was working in his house, and he was in his bedroom on his phone talking to one of the other people, the senior people that worked at the company that he was really close with, who was actually a really cool guy. And he was boasting in such a disgusting way about what he was actually doing with all those Facebook posts about the great time he had with all of his relatives. And this guy was like breaking down all of his motives and all of the underneath the surface and behind the scenes sort of objectives that he had to manipulate all these people's minds for his own personal gain. And he was like literally almost coming in his pants. He thought he was so brilliant for duping all of these people. And finally he got to, and behold, the real motive. And what he proceeded to explain to this other guy was that he was doing all of this, one, because if something happened to him, he wanted his daughter to have some sort of a connection, which was a little bit caring and cool. But the main motive was he didn't want to get written out of his mother's will. He needed to keep up good appearances so he could stay in the will, because he needed 50% power to fight his fucking sister when his mother died to get the money. And I almost threw up. I was like, this guy is a fucking dick. I felt manipulated, and I felt abused, and I felt like I actually thought he was good, and I was seeing the good in this person, and I thought he cared, and I almost went into a little bit of shock. And I think this is what happens with empaths. I went, because that's me, I was like, I don't understand, but it seemed like it was real. But it's, how could you actually manipulate somebody on this level just for your own egoic gain? Well, the answer is, these people fucking exist. Maybe you're not like that. Maybe you couldn't do that to somebody consciously with that deliberative motive. They're out there. You don't need to watch narcissist video after narcissist video after narcissist video in order to confirm that this is real. Sometimes at first you're not sure if someone's a narcissist. So like getting a little bit about, signs that somebody's actually manipulating you. Okay, a little bit of that research at first might make sense. But once you know, stop watching the videos. All you need to know is that this is real. These people lie. There's evil in this world. There's sociopathy in this world. There's psychopathy in this world. That's not you. What you need to know is that's what this is. How do I get out? How do I heal? What part of me is it that is so drawn to this over and over again? Because with empaths, there's this sensitivity, there's this kindness, there's this compassion, but with it also comes this naivete. And what happens when we don't put ourselves first, and when we don't know how to protect ourselves, we can end up being abused again and again and again because of our own curiosity, because of our own morbid curiosity and inability to accept that we've actually been lied to on this scale. Therefore, they will doubt and hesitate even after learning the truth. They will continue to believe there must be some other explanation. There's not. This is what it is. Now, what can you do? Well, you can look at where in you, first off, doubts that you live in a world that's like this. What innocent parts of you, have been abused before, and how can you protect those parts? Because the goal is not to put up armor so that you're shut down and numb and you never love and you never trust, because you don't live in that world either. There are plenty of good people out there. There are plenty of amazing partners out there. There are plenty of people with honesty and integrity and authenticity out there. Doesn't mean they're perfect, but they're for real. So you don't want armor, but you do want a little bit of a shield, a little bit of discernment, so that you don't keep injuring yourself by putting yourself in situations with these people. The other thing you want to know is it's not your responsibility to save them. And you can't. They're not open to it. They don't give a shit. What we tend to do is we project our desire to be saved ourselves onto others. Because what we're saying when we try to save someone is, I need to be saved. I want to be saved. And therefore, if I give this to you, I'm opening up the possibility that someone will give it to me. The thing is, no one can give it to you but you. When you give it to you, you will attract people that respect that and support that and give it to themselves too. And then you do kind of get it in a way, but not the way you think. You cannot save them. Now, there's varying degrees of narcissism. There's varying degrees of these different things. The other question to ask is, like, where did this come from in childhood? Like, what part of you is trying to save your father? What part of you is trying to save your mother because you didn't get the love from them that you wanted then? You can't save them, and you certainly can't save them through trying to save some psycho narcissist you're in a relationship with now. All you can do is step back, find those wounds, and give that love to yourself. And as you give that love to yourself, you develop more discernment, and then you call in the right people that will give it to you also. So you have to protect yourself. Question where your naivete comes from. Question, what do you do with your curiosity instead? What else can you do? And also understand that they will invite their own karma. They actually really will. At some point, it will come back around to them. It's not your job to get fucking revenge. There's all these like how to get revenge on a narcissist videos. That now makes you the narcissist. Now you're them. Do you want to be spending your energy figuring out how to get revenge on a narcissist? If you do, you're not going to like my content. Because that's a waste of your time. Because you're just feeding resentment, anger, bitterness, destruction, and you're just going to keep drawing in those patterns anyway. You're just going to draw in more and more narcissists. Where is the wound? Where is that innocent, like, how do you bless and love that innocent part of you that doesn't quite understand this, and teach it that this sort of energy does exist here? But your only real role is to understand that and to accept it and to stay out of it, because you can attract whatever you want. When you get out of that curiosity and that, really, am I being abused? Really? Could somebody do this? And you're like, oh, they can. Then you can start to call in the people that aren't like that. You can call in the authentic people. You can call in the people who will love you the way you deserve to be loved, who will care about you and will fulfill your needs and will be there for you. Then your innocence and your gentleness and your compassion will be allowed to flourish and flower around people that support that, instead of it being used against you. You don't want to shut it off. You just want to know selectively who you give it to. That's the lesson. The lesson is discernment and acceptance. Let me know what you think. Let me know, if you have any revelations or breakthroughs around this topic. Please like and subscribe to this channel. I have a free energy clearing in the description below that will help you clear a lot of these patterns if you listen to it somewhat regularly or just a couple times. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate you. Until next time, peace.